show, both halves seem to follow a very similar pattern, that you started off well, and then as the half wore on, sort of gradually sort of tailed away, or Hull stepped their game up. I mean, how did you see it? Was it a case of you dropping off, or Hull picking up the game?
Yeah, I think it was a question of two things. Scotty Moore not being on the field, our most experienced, and everyone would argue his involvement or what he means to our team, and losing Ben Farah and Nessie Matiatonga, two fullbacks to replace. And I think it was a question of the way that Hull took the game, particularly their halves and their dummy halves. But I think it was a little bit of contribution to just had no troops. We ran out of interchanges with 17 minutes to go, so it was just a question of not being able to stop Hull, particularly with their offloads.
What did you make of the sending off?
I was a little bit. There were a few defenders, a few of our players in between myself and Scotty in the tackle. I certainly didn't see it, and I really don't want to say anything other than Scotty's an aggressive player, and he does tackle above the ball. So I'm not suggesting one thing, and he's not a malice person, although he just plays the game really hard and really tough. So without looking at the video, it's really hard for me to comment on that.
Despite being down to 12 when you came back to within 10 points in the second half, must be pleased with that.
Yeah, again, similar to what you said, it was deja vu of last week, but the circumstances were a little bit different this week, where we had centres playing wing, we had a half playing on the right edge centre. It was just a question of just fill in a hole, and that was the difference from this week to last week.
You got any update on Ben Farah?
Ben Farah looks like he's done some hamstring issues, so it doesn't look too serious. And saying that, for Ben Farah to come off, he must be in a lot of pain. He does play a lot through a lot of pain. So we'll have a look at that. We'll get some scans done on Tuesday, and we've got the week. We don't play this weekend, so it's probably a good week to get some of those little niggling tears and injuries rectified.
Matiatonga was an ankle injury?
Yeah, Matiatonga was an ankle injury. It doesn't look too serious. It looks maybe a sprain, a difficult sprain, but nothing too serious. I wouldn't think that would keep him out for next week.
He wanted to stay on, didn't
He did, but it's clear. And I mean, you talk about attitude, and people speak about the attitude of the club, the attitude of the players. Attitude's not losing us a game. It's a little bit of inexperience, and sometimes we can lose our way a little bit just through not understanding what your role is on that particular play, and that's the type of character we want at our club, and that's the type of people we want on the football field. And for him not to come off with the injury, and we all see him hobbling around, that's exactly what we want, because that stuff you can't pay a price for, and for him wanting to play through injury is great.
Are you concerned that the penalty count today was something like 3 or 4, 13 today again?
Yeah, I think it was 15 to 5, but there was some things we could have controlled by not giving away those penalties. I'll just say that.
Did you make it George Griffin today? He played really well.
He was great, and to be fair to him, Griff probably wasn't in the equation. I'm fortunate that Kieran Dixon was the only player that was unavailable for selection today. So I've got a few conundrums there, and having made Olsey 18th man today and bringing someone like George Griffin, someone as experienced as Olsey, it's very pleasing. So he's been rewarded for the work that he's been doing on the training, and he's been buying his time, and that's exactly what we want. We've got a young side, but we need our more experienced players to stand up, and it's a really good question you ask. He did just that today.
Any more questions?
Do you now change the way you play? Do you take a sort of nothing to lose approach right from the start of games, or you just carry on?
Yeah, I've always had that approach anyway. I know we're at 15 games. I know it's the Super League record, and I don't hide away from that. But it is what it is, and we won't be changing anything. If you change now, then everything we've done is pretty much for nothing. So for our players moving forward, the instructions for me is just run hard, tackle hard, and compete hard. And if we do that, we'll change our own luck, and it's something that I've always said in my coaching career. And if we continue to do that, our luck will change. There were some difficult circumstances that didn't go our way today, but we'll just leave that there.